Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in, everybody tuning in. This is the technically third episode of this showcase special, but we did have a little hiccup last week, so we're just going to call it episode 2 just for the sake of it all. My name is Miss Candace Lee. I am the owner and creator of Sacred Healing Spaces, and we're just doing kind of a little showcase special to showcase people within the holistic and natural fields and their niches and industries. And today we're going to talk with Valerie, who has done such an amazing thing and has created a gratitude journal for kids, which I feel like on a personal level for myself is not something that is scratched enough on the surface with things. We like to focus a lot on just the adult aspect compared to what we are needing for our children. And I really feel like what Valerie is doing and has done is such a beautiful piece to that. And I can't wait to have her come on and talk about it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Valerie. Hello, hello. Oh, join me. Hello, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So tell me a little bit about you and who you are.
Hi, I'm Valerie. I am a military wife that has been uprooted from Arizona to New Mexico, and I'm just trying to find my groove here and my passion. And I've definitely learned a lot about myself, kind of leaving my support system and having to rely on me. So I'm moving forward with that.
That's beautiful. So tell me a little bit about that. What has that journey been for you when it comes to, embracing gratitude?
So I think that moving here was a catalyst for me. I didn't realize how bad my mental health was until I was sucked out of my support system that was obviously like keeping me afloat. So I had my daughter in 2020 when COVID hit, and that in itself was hard for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. And it was very isolating. And I also experienced really bad postpartum depression and rage. And I wanted to kill myself, like straight up. I did. And I didn't want to be around my baby. And I knew, like, obviously that's wrong. I'm a mother and I want to love my baby and I want to love myself, and I didn't. So I started my journey with therapy. I have a really messed up childhood that I'm sure we could get into on another episode. But I mean, I didn't realize you hear a lot of people say, well, you hear some more holistic people say, you hear people who are stuck more back in the old generation, like, oh, well, you're raised how you are or whatever. But you hear a lot about childhood trauma now and how it affects you as an adult. And when you're going through it as a child, you don't even realize that it's trauma. You think it's normal. And then once you do grow up and you realize and you do get a healthy support system, whether that's family you make or family that gets better or whatever, you realize that it was wrong.
Yeah.
So I started therapy and I realized the root of a lot of my issues started back then. And I straight up, I was a spoiled kid. I was an only child. Again, we can get all into that besides the trauma and everything else. My grandparents heavily spoiled me and took care of me in absence of other things.
Yeah.
And gratitude was never something that was learned or shown. It's not something that you just are born with, really. It's not. If you're handed things or you think things are normal, then that's what you think. When in reality, a roof over our head, water, clean water to drink, a laundry, if you have a washer and dryer, because even my best friend lives in an apartment and doesn't have that luxury. Like, you don't realize that actually what started it was we moved here and we didn't have a dishwasher or a disposal. And those are two things I've always had. That's a
Yeah,
luxury. A
it is.
dishwasher and a disposal, both luxuries. I
Oh,
didn't
for sure.
realize.
Yeah. It's so true, though.
Really. So that's where this all blossomed, honestly.
I love that. I love the piece that you talked about how, when we're children, we don't really understand the bigger picture of what we're dealing with.
Hmm.
And sometimes when we are dealing with the harder parts of life, or our parents are dealing with those darker parts, or things are happening to us that are not even our fault in any way, shape, or form, it leaves such an imprint on us and our subconscious to
Hmm.
where it's almost like a conditioning and a programming. Like you said, you didn't have gratitude that was practiced to you when you were a kid, so it was something that you literally had to learn for yourself and then condition and then reprogram yourself to have that ability within yourself. And I think that's
Absolutely.
wonderful. That's a wonderful piece that you're doing for yourself as a person. Not only that, but also as a mother, because you're passing that on. It's like
Yes.
breaking that cycle with you,
Hmm.
right? And I
Yeah.
think that's such a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel really grateful for experiencing all of that.
yeah,
So I'm glad that I was able to take that journey as hard as it was. I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So I'm in a much better place than I was, especially in 2020. But even in my younger years, I didn't have the confidence or the knowledge that I have now to make the best decisions that I can for me and for my daughter now.
yeah, exactly. And it's once you learn those tools of knowledge, how are you passing them on,
Right.
right? Especially when you have children and you
Right.
learn those tools, it's like, okay, like you can't leave them in the dark either. Like once you learn those things, they need to be able to blossom and grow with you. Oh,
Exactly.
so beautiful, so beautiful. I remember the first time I ever did anything gratitude wise, within my little journey. I think I was it was placed on me like unwillingly, because I was a stubborn little teenager. But I was in therapy and I was really, really being down on myself, and talking negatively about everything and anything and every possible thing. It was negative. It was dark. I was in a very dark place. And I remember my therapist at the time. She was like, "Oh, why don't you write a gratitude list?" And I was like, "Oh, what?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "Why don't you write a gratitude list?" And I remember I spent like 2 or 3 weeks every time I thought of something that like I was grateful or thankful for, and I just wrote it down. And I was looking for it today, but I couldn't find it. And but I remember it like I had gotten out of like a terrible relationship. And I wrote things like, "I'm grateful I can dye my hair again." Like just like little tiny things that
Yeah.
like were so impactful, that were programmed into me when
Yeah.
I was in that relationship, to where I was able to be like, wow, I can do all these things. What an appreciation for myself. Like a kindness that I'm showing for myself. And I was a kid at that time, and I know how I was 17, so I was almost an adult, but my brain wasn't completely formed yet. I was still in childhood stage. So it was such a beautiful thing for me to learn that piece as well as a child, because I feel like it's definitely helped catapult me into the things that I appreciate and I'm grateful for today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when it comes to you know children and mental health, there was one thing that really, really resonates with me that I always think of when it comes to children, and it's a quote by the Dalai Lama. And it's, "If every 8-year-old in the world is taught meditation, we would eliminate violence from the world in one generation." And I feel like that is such a powerful piece to kind of
Absolutely.
kind of bring us into, the importance of why it is important for
Yeah.
children to be, sorry, not be, but to have that aspect of learning about their mental health and
Yep.
learning about the tools and learning the things that they need. So what is your opinion and perspective
I
on that?
I love that. I have not actually heard that quote, but I'm still doing better deep diving into my
Yeah.
own personal, but I've done a lot of reading. So I don't know if you have had a chance or know what the four agreements are.
Oh, that's such a
Um,
beautiful book.
Yes. So I was gifted that book at Christmas. This was just this past Christmas, and it was very life changing. It truly was. It made me look at life differently and have a different perspective than what I was programmed to have.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, like, you have to read it. If you don't haven't read it, then you won't know what we're talking about. But like, there's no rules. There's no rules. And there's no fear. If you let go of the fear of whatever it is, it'll go. Anyways, that's not what we're kind of talking about. We're talking about gratitude. So I love gratitude and I love meditation. I in all these books that I've been reading on raising children. I read one on the whole brain and No
I have
Drama
that book.
Discipline. That's a good one.
Mhm.
They all embark on meditating on your with yourself first, because it all boils down to being responsive and not reactive. And in this society, it's just so people are so fast to react to situations, when in
Mhm.
reality it's it's just, if you just take a second to breathe and take a moment to situate the situation, then it would probably be much different.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that really stems from meditation, which I didn't realize. Having that patience and that self-awareness to kind of take a step back and say, okay, I need to make a better decision, or I need to react better in this, or I'm not a child anymore and I can't, scream and cry when I don't get my way. I mean, you can, but that's not really going to get you anywhere, in a positive way. So you have to learn how to redirect and how you want to live your life. And I think meditation has definitely helped me move forward with that. I mean, I never really meditated when I was younger. I never really did any of the holistic things. And now that I've actually been practicing it in my life intentionally and more, I mean, I do yoga. I try to do it every day. It doesn't always work out, but at least the
Yeah.
weekends. And then, I practice meditation. I do practice that daily. It started with journaling, and then my therapist also, I don't know, they must have gone to school for this or something, but she also recommended that I start writing down things that I'm grateful for. When I first started therapy, back when I had mentioned, and I was very suicidal, and every day it was a battle to get up and get out of bed. And what literally changed my perspective was not medication. In reality, it wasn't the therapy. My therapist is amazing and she guided me in the right direction, but it was me taking a step back, changing my perspective, and being like, okay, you need to be more thankful and grateful for what you have, because there are people in this world, and there are probably someone right down the street that doesn't have what you have. And with my daughter being an only child and pretty much in the same kind of situation that I was, with my grandparents spoiling me and me spoiling her, like, I'm not going to not spoil her, but she's going to know that not everybody gets that. And she's going to be thankful and grateful for what's being provided for her. And she's going to know, unlike me, where I was handed things and I expected that growing up, which was a really big slap in the face, honestly, as an adult, because things are not handed to you. You have to work for them.
Yeah.
And if you're not grateful for what you have and you just expect it, it doesn't come to you. That's not how the universe works. So,
Yeah. Yeah, gratitude is such a beautiful and important piece to growth, because if you're not thankful and appreciative of the journey that you're taking for yourself, how are you going to continue to go forward on such a level that will help you embrace all parts of you?
absolutely.
Um, so so, with your journey and the journey of learning about gratitude and really experiencing it on such a level, like you said, you had so many things within your home, and you had things taken away from you where you moved, and you had to just focus on you. So, what was the turning point to where you decided that, hey, this really needed to be something that you wanted to do for kids? And how did your gratitude journal all come up to be?
So I think I maybe a little touched on it already, but I mean, with my journey through therapy, we've touched a lot about, she even first started the whole. Oh, don't mind my dog if you can hear
It's,
her
it's okay.
snoring. Um, we went through the whole rigmarole of how you go through therapy. I mean, sometimes they ask you, sometimes you guide it. It just kind of all comes out eventually. And I realized that my issues as an adult stemmed from my conditioning programming as a child.
Yeah.
The things that I don't like about myself, that I feel like I can't control, especially that were triggered becoming a mother, I was always screamed at and yelled at as a child because both of my grandparents were officers in the Air Force, and that's what they
Mhm.
knew. That's all that they were
Yeah.
programmed to do.
Yeah.
And I just told myself, when I get up, grow older, and I become a mom, I'm never going to do that. I'm going to be the best mom, and I'm never going to yell. And then what happens the very first time that my daughter does something that irritates me or scares me or anything, I yell,
Yeah.
because that's what I was programmed to do. I don't know anything different. I can tell myself all I want, that I'm not going to be that person, and I'm not going to yell, and I'm not going to get angry. But if that's all you're taught and that's all you know,
Mhm.
then that's it.
Yeah.
So, this is really not on anger and emotions and stuff like that, but I truly think that a lot of your mental health as you grow older is based off of your gratitude and what you're grateful for. If you just take a step back and look at that, if you take a step back and look at all the things you have in your life, I guarantee you, anybody watching this, you will be grateful for your life and what you've created for yourself. If you truly sit down and you really look at it black and white. And I never did that. And that's what pulled me out of my mentality of wanting to end my life. I had no motivation. I didn't see anything good in it. Why would I want to be here and continue a life that I didn't even like? But now it's like, I'm grateful when the sky is setting a beautiful sunset for me. And I'm grateful when I go to school and I see an amazing view that I get to just see the sunset and the clouds and everything because of the timing of my school. And I feel so grateful. And that was never something that I felt before. And again, that was something that I had to teach myself. And if that was something that I had learned at a young age, I feel like my mental health journey would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
And at this point in my life, maybe I just feel like I exited survival mode like last year. And I didn't even know I was in survival mode. I don't think you realize you're in, you don't realize what you're in until you're getting out of it.
Exactly.
So that was really hard. And again, I just realized that all of this stemmed from a lot happening at a young age. And if I can help instill gratitude in children and make it a fun and kind of exciting thing, by having it colorful, and you get to color your mood for the day. And I nobody asked me that when I was growing up. Nobody asked me what my mood was, or asked me to write down something that made me laugh during the day, or the journal is filled with things like that. It asks you to write down, color in your mood, and it asks you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for that happened throughout the day, something funny that happened throughout the day. And again, if I had had that mentality growing up, where I had a negative mentality growing up, because again, everything was handed to me, so why would I be grateful about things? Um,
Right.
I feel like my life would be so different. And I'm grateful for where I am and what I have now, but I could be in another place. I could be helping other children and women, which I plan, too, but I'm 30. I could have been doing this already. Again, I know everyone's journey is different, but if I can help a child stay on a positive, grateful journey throughout their life instead of focusing on the negative, which is what I did, and what, constituted all these negative thoughts about myself growing up, I would be a totally different person today. So if I can again help instill that in children growing up, that's all that I could get and want out of that journal getting around. So hopefully that does happen.
Yeah. And you said your journal is online, correct?
Yes. It's available on Amazon. If you type
And
in,
I'll definitely link it in the comments and
thank
on the
you.
post as well, so people who are watching or see it later on can definitely check it out and see what it's all about, because I think it is such a beautiful thing that you are doing. You've
Thank you.
taken your journey and made it something beautiful. So yes, you might be 30, but it is everything. I believe that everything happens in divine timing. You had
Yes,
to learn the things that you had to learn to be able to instill it within yourself, to be able to instill it within your daughter, to be able to instill it with others, right?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's so beautiful. Oh,
Thank you.
I'm so excited. I'm
I
so
appreciate
excited for
you.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate your support. I really do. I had a couple extra, and I wish I could have had one to kind of show, but I gave them all out to my friends that
That's
have much.
okay.
So,
I wonder if we can screen share and you can kind of like, is there a way you can screen share and kind of show like an example of it? If not,
yes.
it's totally okay. We can
No,
try
I
and
think I
do
can.
it.
Yeah. Um,
And I'll transition you to your screen. Yeah, we can kind of like show just a little sample.
cool.
So, is this something you do with your daughter?
Yes, so we have our own version of it. So my daughter is just learning how to write her name.
Yay!
um, So, she obviously is not really in a position to be writing and reading, and she wasn't going to school for a while. She is in daycare now, but I was home with her for a long time too, so there wasn't a lot of outside world. But anyways, we have our own little thing. We do affirmations every morning, and we tell each other what we're grateful for throughout the day and what made us
Oh,
laugh. And again, this was like conversations that we started having that I guess that also prompted me to write the journal was her, obviously.
yeah,
But it is dedicated to, I wouldn't say older kids. I would say the range would be anywhere from like 6 to 12
yeah,
is pretty good. So when she gets of age, she will absolutely have one. And when she gets a little better at writing and reading, I might be able to have her kind of start jotting down some things at the end of the
yeah.
day or whatever. But for the most
You're
part,
just
we
you're
just
just
do kind of
instilling it
verbal.
early.
Yeah. So I do have it up. I also am in school for graphic design, so I did create this myself.
Ooh,
Um, So I'm just using like a paid version of Canva for all the other graphic designers out there. Don't judge me. I am in the transition of learning Adobe Illustrator, and I just got an iPad so I can start sketching and creating my own
hey,
things.
this is a no
So
judgment zone.
perfect. Thank you. But I
Everybody
do,
who's
yeah,
in here, this is a no judgment zone for sure.
good.
And while we're still talking, if anybody who is listening wants to ask any questions or have any questions for Valerie in regards to her journal, please tune in and ask so we can answer them at the end. Okay.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Okay, am I sharing my screen with you or can you
Yeah.
already?
Yeah, let me put you on. And then I don't see a shared screen yet.
This one.
Yay. Okay, let's add to the scene. All right. Beautiful. Oh, it's so colorful and cute.
Thank you. So yeah, here's just kind of the front page, and then it does go into what gratitude is. It's just a little kind of blurb that I think is communicated well to children in a way that they can understand, and it even tells you what being grateful can help you do. Boosts your self-esteem, reduces feelings of loneliness, it improves your quality of sleep, which I can attest to, honestly. And then, of course, we have some cute little graphics, and then it's set up for you on a weekly basis. So you fill out one of these every day. So let's say you'd start Monday, you would come up with a positive word of the day. It could be something funny, it could be something cute. It could be a new word that you learned. This is something you would do also at the end of the day, more or less when you get home from school or something. So you fill in your mood, you can color it, you can mark it out, you can scribble it with a pen if you are really upset and you want to do the upset one,
Love
And then we
it.
have the three things that happened today that you're grateful for. And then one amazing thing that happened today, something you accomplished today, something that you look forward to doing tomorrow. Because I think that's a big thing too, is having a reason to wake up the next day and get motivated for the next day that you have.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Yeah. So those are set up with 7 day increments. So it'd be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. And then you do Saturday and Sunday too, just because you don't go to school. And then there's like a little weekly recap that you want to go through and kind of just name something every day that you remember kind of being thankful for. And then there is a little activity at the end. So they're different every week. So
How
this one
cute.
is kind of specific to, you. What are four things you love about yourself? Draw yourself. And then again, we got a couple we're going through. And then again, this was like another week. So here's a gratitude activity where you think of a person that you're grateful for. It could be like your friend, it could be an auntie or an uncle, it could be your parents, it could be you. It just kind of makes you think more. So that's kind of a gist of it.
Yeah, beautiful. I love it. I love how thought out this is and how the piece, let me see, the piece of just allowing the children just to be able to feel whatever they need to feel. I feel like
Yeah,
that's such an important thing because a lot of us in society like to stuff down our feelings and not think about them. So I think
right.
it's such an important piece to have our children be able to explore their feelings.
Hmm.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So, um, what what is next for you when it comes to what you want to do and where things are going for you when it comes to this?
So I'm super excited. I kind of mentioned that I am going to school full time for graphic design, as well as full time still working on my mental health. I'm still going to therapy. I still, talk with my daughter on her mental health on a daily basis. I ask her how her day is. I ask her what happened, if something made her sad, if something made her happy. I try to really instill that in her. I also touched base on affirmations. Every morning we do affirmations, and that was not something that I was ever taught. I was never told anything positive about myself growing up, let alone told myself something positive
Yeah,
about myself. So I make it a point every morning to tell her how much I love her, how beautiful I think she is, how smart I think she is. I try to go around as many as I can. Not that anything is ever based on beauty or ever based on how smart you are, but I try to just hit all the points with her so she at
yeah,
least knows and feels. And then I'll ask her to say one, and she usually will say, "I make myself laugh," or something funny like that. And it's very cute, and I love it, and it's very inspiring for me. And it's again something that I wish could have been instilled in me as a kid. So moving forward with my graphic design, I'm gonna try to transition out of like a pre-made design that I did put a lot of my own into it, but it was a pretty pre-made design. So I'm gonna try
yeah,
to create my own purely from scratch, and it's going to be based more around affirmations. It's probably going to be a little more of like a journaling thing, with more prompts and more room to write, where compared to the
beautiful.
gratitude is just kind of very minimal. But that's kind of my next step. I think it would be a good thing to introduce, and I'm kind of thinking of starting like a series of mental health
Mm.
journals for children. So hopefully that will get me moving on my little series that I have thinking. If anybody has any recommendations or topics that they'd like me to potentially create a journal for, I would love to hear that too. I'm always open for that. I love to help. I want to help parents. I want to help kids, anybody and everybody that I can, to have a positive and meaningful life that they love.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
It's beautiful because it just shows how far you've come on your journey to be able to get to this space.
Absolutely.
Um, I forgot what I was going to say. It's gone. That's okay. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. That's all right though. But I wanted to. Oh, I remember. What would be like your perspective on affirmations and what they mean, or for somebody who isn't watching that doesn't really know what affirmations are.
So I think affirmations, when it comes down to it, is loving yourself and confidence in yourself. So affirmations are things that you tell yourself about yourself that are positive and amazing and things that you love. I like to think of it as like a love letter to yourself, but bullet points. And when I first started affirmations, I didn't love anything about myself. I it took me a while to sit down and say, okay, I love the way I do things for other people. Okay, I love the way I was so hard, you know. Now I can say, I can list them off. I love how I serve my husband. I love how I serve my child. I love how I stand up for myself and show up for myself on a daily basis. I think I'm beautiful. I love myself. These are things that I could not physically or mentally tell myself just a year or two ago because
Yeah.
I didn't believe them. I didn't. I really didn't. I can truthfully say that. So whether you have to lie to yourself in the beginning or not, again, my therapist has been so amazing, as well as the list of being grateful. She wanted me to write things that I loved about myself. So that's it. Didn't start with affirmations, it started with that list, but that moved forward and into affirmations, and that's what I can kind of pass down to my daughter when it comes to that. And I will also have her write a love letter to herself too, so we can do that too. But really it just promotes self-confidence and self-love, and I feel like a lot stems from that. You're a better, more confident person that can help serve others if your cup is full, and a lot of
Mhm.
times nobody's going to fill that cup except yourself, and I had to also learn that the hard way.
Yeah, that's a huge lesson all on its own.
Yeah.
With the, the different aspects of it, the people pleasing, the codependency,
Right.
not letting, yourself be taken care of and loving yourself in the process. That's a whole other
That's a whole
level.
nother episode if you want, because that's seriously, I didn't even realize what a people pleaser I was. I didn't realize, I thought things I was saying yes to were things that I wanted to say yes to. I had to really dig deep and realize I don't want to say yes to that at all. I don't like doing that, but
Yeah.
I want to be liked.
Yeah.
I'm feared that people won't like me. And I'm still in the process of doing it because I'm not going to try to lie and say that I don't care at all, but I have moved forward aggressively on not caring about what people think. And I'm here to make friends and support is there for me as a person and who I am, and not a masked version of myself that I want to be anymore. And yeah.
That's beautiful. So if you're willing, would you and myself want to state, I don't know, 3 or 5 things that we're grateful for that has happened to us within the past?
Absolutely.
Yes, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Cool. Would you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. So I am grateful for my life and myself. Whereas even a year ago, especially 2, 3 years ago, I was not grateful for life. I hated everything about it. I really wanted to end it. I couldn't think of anything positive or anything that meant it. And now again, I can look at a sunset and I can be grateful for that. And I can go on a hike and I can look at the trees and I can see the bugs and I could see some animal out and I can be grateful for that. Whereas before I was like, I don't care. I don't need that. I'm da, 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 you know. It's your ego getting in the way. By the way, I had to really let that go.
Yeah.
So grateful for my life and myself. Grateful for my therapist. I'm going to be honest. I fought going to therapy a very long time. I knew that I had childhood trauma. I was sexually abused. I was verbally abused. I was physically abused. I was came out of the womb withdrawing from heroin. I could go on and on. So I'm so thankful for my therapist. I pushed back on therapy for so long because I didn't want to be a victim, when in reality, I was holding that victim mentality by not going and not working through those issues that I had the whole time.
Yes. Yes.
So that was a big eye opener. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has been a really amazing backbone for me. She's been my therapist for 3 going on 4 years now. And I mean, I truly can say that she saved my life. I can say that because the work I did, I had to put in the work myself, but without her guidance and her, again, support in a place where I am very isolated and I don't have a lot of family and friends here, I'm in another state, that was detrimental to me. So I'm
Yeah.
so thankful for her. If she ends up seeing this, I'm so thankful for you, Alex. I love you.
Thank you,
Um, and then
Alex.
I'm really long, so I'll make the third one just bitter, sweet, and short and sweet. My daughter, I'm so grateful for her. We can go into PPD and another episode, but I did not want to be a mother with my past experiences as with a child and how my mom treated me and the neglect that was there. I had no motherly bone in my body, and I did not want that in any way. And when I got pregnant, I wouldn't say it was planned or accidental. It just happened.
Yeah,
So as you know, and I didn't want her. I wanted a boy first off. I didn't want a girl because girls are dramatic. And how am I going to do her hair? Because I don't even do my own. Like, oh, so then when I found, I had dreams. I had
oh my
dreams
gosh, I love it.
I had dreams that I was gonna have a girl, and then little there you go. I had my gender reveal, and I had a girl, and I cried, and I was so upset, and I had to also dig deep in that aspect because this
Yeah,
little baby did nothing to me. What
yeah,
am I? What is my issue? And I was scared. At the very root of it, I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to provide for her because I was never given those lessons. I was never taught. I was never given those tools. How am I going to provide for this baby when I can't even provide for myself? I don't even love me. How can I love her? How can I teach
yeah,
her how to love herself?
yeah.
So
Look at where you've
I
come.
I can wholeheartedly say that she loves herself. She's also a little Leo, so she is very much aware of herself and loves herself, and I'm so happy and proud to say that
Yeah,
I wholeheartedly back that, and I'm so grateful for her. She has not only opened my eyes and helped me in so many ways, started my healing journey, honestly. Just herself in general, her personality and her as her own soul, I she has saved me so many times. She's hilarious, she's funny, she's beautiful, she's everything I could ever want in a child, and I'm so grateful to have her. So yes,
I love that.
thank
I do truly believe she was a little kickstart in your healing journey.
absolutely.
Just like
Yes, there's
you were
no doubt.
talking about, we were talking about before we got on, from like the last time we saw each other to now. It's such a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah,
space that you're in.
I feel like that was a whole different life. It
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Motherhood does that to us.
What about you?
Motherhood definitely does that to us if
Oh yeah.
done if done correctly. Parenting is such a beautiful awakening process
Yeah.
on top of like a healing your inner child process,
Yeah.
on top of watching and guiding this little human to be
Yes.
all that they need to be. It's like such this combination of like so many things on so many different levels and energetic frequencies, and it's
Yes.
sometimes it's so overwhelming if, like you said, if you don't know what you're doing. I remember when I first had Macy, how overstimulated I was, and all of the crazy things that came with that.
Yeah.
And it's taken a long time, my own healing journey and experiences within that to grow as a mother and as a person to be able to, guide others to do the same in the ways that I do. And I feel like what you're doing is so beautiful, and I'm so excited for everything that you're doing. And I wish you the best of luck with everything because I think it's such a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Um, let's.
Also, you need to tell me your grateful things and
I was
really
just gonna
fast.
say,
Okay, good. Really fast. So we started this conversation for this podcast on the thought that I had created an app.
yeah,
So that really got me thinking, and I spent the last couple of days researching, and I'm gonna be looking into creating an app for the kids that don't like to write on paper. Maybe they'll do a digital version. So I thank you for inspiring me for that because that was never a thought in my head ever. I
oh
never
my gosh,
thought
I
to
feel
do
like
an
I dreamt it. I could have
app.
sworn you said it on when I had found your post about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have her on. I want to
Maybe it
talk
was meant
about it.
to be an app from
I don't
day
know if I
one.
dreamt it or what, but I was just like, yeah, the kids app, and you're like, what?
I was like, it's a paper book, like a paper one.
In the drawer with all the utensils. No, all the utensils. Okay. So yeah, three things I'm grateful for. I am grateful for the The
For
crying.
that baby.
I'm grateful for the crying because that means she loves me and she wants me to
Exactly.
know. Hold on.
Okay.
Come here. You can come say hi. Come here. It's okay. Come here. I am grateful for my babies because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have taken the journey that I took when I took it. I wouldn't be in the space that I am today of growth if I didn't give myself the opportunity to be willing and grateful for the opportunity of being a mom.
Yes.
What's another thing I'm grateful for? I'm grateful that I have you want to say hi? She's like, maybe. I'm grateful for the opportunity to just be able to speak my truths and be in a space of open-heartedness. It's taken me a long time to get into that type of space. What happened? To be to be able to be in a space of groundedness and openness. I'm really grateful that I am in that space. And I'm really grateful that I've been able to overcome a lot of things that I never thought I was able to overcome, when it comes to addictions and traumas and, a lot of things that have happened within my life. Are you grateful too? Oh my goodness. So yeah, those are my few things.
Well,
Do you have anything you're grateful for, Macy?
Oh, yeah.
3 things? They're on there.
No, not those. Those don't count, you cheater.
But I want
3 things you're
I'm
grateful
for my cat.
You're thankful for your cat?
Yeah.
What else are you thankful for?
My sister.
Your sister? What else are you thankful for?
Me.
Oh.
See, you're doing right. You're doing it good. Because I would have never said that to my person raising me.
Yeah.
Even though I should have been, and I am now. But at that age, no way. So I respect you and all that you're doing, and I love you. And those beautiful babies, they're so beautiful. Hello. And I'm so thankful you had me on, and I can't wait to be on another episode.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We'll definitely have to tune in and talk about more things because I love talking with you and the space and energy we have with each other.
One thing I'm thankful for.
What are you thankful for?
My phone.
Your phone, of course.
Gotta make that app.
Yep, she will be on that app for sure.
Cool.
Because she doesn't like writing, so I feel like that would be, it is a
I'd
perfect
get the rest of the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Oh, Valerie, it was so nice to talk to you, and thank you so much for coming in and talking with me. And I appreciate you so much, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Candace, and I hope you have an amazing day and future. And again, I can't wait to talk to you again, and I will be tuning in to your episodes. I can't wait to see the next one.
Yay, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I did look, and it doesn't. Let me see. Let me make sure that there's no questions before.
No one's talking.
It's just I don't see any comments.
Except for that one.
But if there is any questions that anybody has, even after watching this podcast or this special, please just put it in the comments, and myself or Valerie will be able to answer anything in regards to her journal. And I will also be adding that in to the comments. So Valerie, please get that to me as soon as you can so I can put it in, okay?
Thank
It was
you.
so wonderful talking to you.
Thank
and
you.
I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be here next week. We're going to be talking with Miss Ashley in regards to all things energy, massage, and body connection related. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the week. And thank you for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.